Hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. I want to title this Preparing for a Fascist America. Um, so, I'm sure you guys have heard over the weekend about this LGBT Supreme Court case. Um, they ruled in favor of a Christian web designer in Colorado who refused to create websites to celebrate same-sex weddings out of religious objections. This did not happen. This is something these guys created. This is something that this person just created as a thought experiment, what I understand. I don't think it's as serious as people think it is because uh, I think a lot of people in the movement want to make belief that this stuff's okay, and I don't care about belief. I think that under capitalism, if you want to be a racist, you can be a racist, as long as there's businesses out here that will choose to not do that. I think society will be okay. I don't have this. I hate this about the left. This nagging, ninny stuff of making people. Uh, they have to believe what we believe. That's the group we agree with. And I don't believe in that. Um, we've seen this over and over with the right that they'll. What's that law? The restaurant that Lon Bober had got closed and we got food. The in the aftermath of the Bud Light scandal with the transgender with Mulvaney, they put out some beer that was like $6 or $20 a six pack, and that completely failed. I don't really think much of this stuff. I don't put a lot of time towards this, but I do feel like it's time to have this discussion of what a fascist America would look like. If I ever have kids, if I ever write a book about this moment, this time of living through Trump and COVID, I'm going to always say that, for the most part, Trump failed because of his own ignorance. I don't think Trump is very sophisticated with the way he does things. I think that the stuff he does, it might make these bigots out here, it might make them like it, but all it does is illuminates and cast a spotlight on things that my grandparents told me, and my mother told me, and other old people told me other old black people told me back in the day about fascism. They weren't college educated, but they understood certain things, and all Charlottesville did was he just knocked it in my head that yeah, they were right. It might make you feel good running around with torches and screaming about Jews, and it might make you feel good shooting at black people, in the street. It might make you feel good, but in the eyes of the world, you just highlighted, circled, and underlined a big problem of indefinite duration. So I think that this time the system did not ride with Trump. I think that Trump had a white supremacist all-star team. I said that before. Whether it be, Tillerson and General Mad Dog Mattis that talked about killing 30 people at a wedding and laughed, say do it again, it's funny, and other things like that. He had his first Supreme Court justice. His first Attorney General. Even himself came out and said that we're not going to be the Justice Department be bought, which he was talking. He knew then about the pay for play bribes for pardons. And it's amazing to me how many of these white supremacist discussions that Trump went out of his way to get involved in, that if he had just remained silent. Because look, I think a lot of people, one thing I've realized too is a lot of people that defend white supremacy, they're really okay with that kind of a world, and they're not really against that kind of a world. But when you put it in their face, then they have to come out and speak out because it's their morality. But they really don't have a problem with it. When Tucker Carlson came out and talked about how that's not how white men fight, I didn't need you to show me that. When Tucker Carlson talked about how the Buffalo shooting, when we know a white man drove 300 miles across the state of New York to kill a supermarket full of black people, when he wrote the N-word on his rifle, wrote his reparations on the rifle, when he live streamed the video, and Tucker Carlson's telling us that this is a person that killed strangers. I didn't need you to explain it to me what that meant. These are people who Trump utilized and used to soften the edge of a fascist society. This is what you get. You get violence. but also to amplify the mistakes the left maybe has made. I think that Trump had a good guy with Bannon. I think he said made a lot of sense, talking about how with the Bell Telephone Company that his granddaddy had a job, his daddy had a job, that people in the community had jobs during the Great Depression. They didn't lay anybody off. So during the Great Depression, nobody was laid off. It kind of reminded me of, up here with the coal miners. How people's great-grandparents, grandparents, and that was their status. They had homes for miners that couldn't work no more. That was a pride. And when Bannon talked, he made a lot of, even now, recognizing the scumbag he is, going overseas and stuff, which reminds, this isn't about making America great again. This is about making America fast, make the world fascist again. And it's about a certain type of a historical revisionism written by a racist mind in regards to matters that we working class people have been fighting against for generations. I'm talking about public health. I'm talking about the workplace. I'm talking about workplace health. So I want to go a little bit further. So we're talking about bribes. The Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas was taking bribes. He was, let me see. He was hanging out with Harlan Crow, a guy that's pretty much known as a Nazi. Let's see. Let's talk about it here. Clarence Thomas, late June 2019, was going on vacation. This vacation would have cost over $500,000. Chartered a plane, 162-foot yacht, staffed with attendants and a private chef. So Harlan Crow that made this happen. 2 decades, he's accepted luxury trips virtually every year. I guess it's kind of crazy because growing up, I remember kind of hearing this thing of like how black people can make it, and that like the people who complain about black folks that make it are like just lazy black people, and that you can be a black man and make it, and you can be successful. And seeing this the Harlan Crow thing reminded me that's all a bunch of crap. That being rich in America and powerful in America often is about who you know and what you know. And the fact he's accepted luxury trips virtually every year from Dallas businessman without disclosing them. He flies on Crow's Bombardier Global 5000 jet. He's gone with Crow to the Bohemian Grove, into his sprawling ranch. Spends about a week every summer at the private resort in the Adirondacks. This is another reminder, and I know